Alright, hello, welcome back. I'm gonna make some cookies today, so feel free to join me. In the year of our low buy, 2025, I talked about this a little bit in the email / Substack that I just sent out on the 1st, which for me today is 1 hour ago. One of my goals this year is to try to learn how to make more things from scratch myself, because that's something that's really important to me personally. Just trying to be more self-sufficient in general and not relying on corporations that are generally just, exploiting people. I have this little journal, which, yes, if you recognize from a couple videos ago, potentially this was my regular journal, but I ripped out some of the pages and turned it into my recipe trial book with some little cute scrapbook paper. So now we have some recipes that I've written down, because it's really truly been my goal for many, many years to write down, test out, and try out a handful of recipes and things that I just like to make. And mainly in here, it's mostly just baking recipes, because when it comes to cooking recipes, I'm the kind of person that kind of just goes off of vibes. I look at a recipe, look at the ingredients, and then go, okay, I got it. I can figure this out. When it comes to baking, I have to be obviously really specific. And yes, it is super windy outside, so if you hear howling winds, it's just really loud and windy outside. So anyways, I've had these cookies particularly on my list of things to make for quite a while, and they're Earl Grey sugar cookies, and I'm really excited. I'll put the recipe link down below. It's by Teak and Thyme. So let's just try it out and just chat a little bit about, I don't know, let's just vibe and make some cookies together and hang out. That's literally it. It's actually so funny because one of my first videos ever on this channel is me just making cookies and chatting. In terms of baking and stuff, I make cookies. That's my specialty, honestly. Everything else, it's pretty much 50-50 if it turns out okay. Banana bread, I think I've locked it down. Cakes, there's only a 50% chance that cake is going to turn out okay. So that's really the issue. And also, I'm making a flax egg because the cheapest that eggs are for a dozen at my local grocery store is $8.50. So that's not happening. Personally, that's not happening. To do a flax egg, it's pretty simple. You just do 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and 3 tablespoons of water, and you just let it sit for 5 minutes before adding it into your recipe situation. But okay, we need to do the dry ingredients. Okay, so this year, as I've mentioned, it is definitely my goal to learn how to make sourdough. And I have a decent amount of the stuff for it. Oh god, this is such a mess. That's actually on my list of things to acquire somehow, but I'm talking about this kind of a thing. I need to get one of these for some flour. And then what else do I need to get for my sourdough journey? Well, I definitely need a scale, a kitchen scale, which honestly I think I'm just gonna buy that new. I've asked around on my Buy Nothing group, I've asked friends, family, whatever, and I truly cannot find one. And honestly, it's one of those things that you buy it once and then you have it for a long time. I am almost 100% certain that Anne, Ray's mom, has had the same one for at least 20 years, if not more, because the box that she takes it out of every time she uses it, she still has it in the original cardboard box, literally looks like one of those ones from the early 2000s, if not the 90s. Which is honestly so awesome, because Anne is the original frugal queen. She is the frugal queen of my life. Genuinely. Anyways, in a small to medium bowl, stir together all dry ingredients. Because I absolutely despise doing dishes and we don't have a dishwasher, I'm just doing it in this tall beaker thing because it's gonna fit everything in there. So I don't want to create more dishes than need be. But anyway, what else do I need? A Dutch oven. I don't know about the Dutch oven. Obviously, I'm going to get one. Some people are saying you can do it without, but other people are saying, honestly, it's kind of not worth it. You might as well just get a Dutch oven because that's the best way to have a consistent sourdough loaf. And I don't really want to necessarily experiment with a bunch of other different ways how to do it if it's just gonna make an already semi learning curve thing harder. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? I already know that there's going to be a learning curve with sourdough and like a lot of things to figure out, and I don't really want to be troubleshooting how to make a loaf without like the thing that it was designed to be baked in. So I don't really know what to do about the Dutch oven. I was thinking about getting like an old used one, like a really good quality but like used like Le Creuset or one of those other like French brands, because I've heard that they're just really good quality. And if I get like a nice ceramic one, then it's gonna last a long time anyway, right, if I take care of it. So I haven't really decided yet, which is why I'm waiting. But also, sorry about the freaking lighting change, the clouds are going in and out. I just have to wait until I'm back from Italy, because I can't even start my sourdough starter until I'm here like full time, and I'm gonna be in Italy for a week at the end of the month. So there's no point in me starting a sourdough starter and doing all of that and then like waiting for a week and potentially messing up the process or whatever. Anyways, okay, this is the fun part. Earl Grey. It says it's either 1 Earl Grey tea bag or 1 tablespoon of loose leaf tea. And again, my goal with all the things in life is to just get as little waste as possible, and I can't wait to just completely transition over into loose leaf tea. And currently right now I'm working my way through all of my little tea boxes and bags, and then hopefully eventually getting on to the point where I'm just doing loose leaf. But anyways, for now it is just tea bags. So I'm gonna do 2 because I want the flavor to be stronger, because I love Earl Grey tea and I don't want these to not have an Earl Grey flavor. You know what I mean? Like doing all this work for what? So what I'm gonna do, because again, this is my recipe trial notebook, is I'm gonna write that I used 2 Earl Grey Twinings tea bags, because I know that there's like different kinds of Earl Grey. There's like aged Earl Grey and blah 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 whatever. Okay, so this is all my dry ingredients besides sugar, it says. And now we have a medium to large bowl. It says cream together the butter and sugars until fluffy, and then add the egg and vanilla. And honestly, the secret ingredient to all things is just extra vanilla. If ever you're making anything with vanilla, just add extra. For cookies especially. Like, that is one thing. I learned it from the cookie queen herself, which is my stepmom. I like aspire to have delicious cookies, and I feel like it's the only thing in terms of baking that I'm actually good at. She can make delicious pumpkin pies and stuff from scratch. In my dreams, actually. I almost ruined Thanksgiving or Christmas a couple years ago because I tried to do it and it did not turn out. It did not turn out. I think I might have even vlogged it. And I tried to do it with the pumpkin pie pumpkin that I had. I literally made pumpkin jerky and then ruined the whole thing. So I had to go and get a can, or I had a can of pumpkin puree, whatever, and we had to just get a crust and fill it up, and it was fine. She was like, don't worry, just, you know, do a can and it'll all work out. And it still tasted delicious, but she makes it from scratch and it tastes so good. Couldn't be me. Cookies are the only place that I actually thrive, and I'm pretty good at sugar cookies, so not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm learning. It is really windy out there. I just put this butter in the windowsill to soften up, and I would say it's mostly soft, but I'm gonna put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds or maybe 10 seconds. So I'm an idiot. And I forgot to write 10, and I did 30, and now half of it is liquid. Great. Guess what, babes? It's fine. It's fine. We persevere. Anyways, what was I saying about the sourdough? Yeah, I need to get a Dutch oven for sure. I need to get a kitchen scale. I think those are the 2 things that like I literally need to do sourdough, like in order to like make myself feel confident to start trying it. And I don't necessarily feel bad about buying those things, because like I said in the email that I wrote this morning, I'm spending money on those things so that I don't have to spend money on sourdough in the future. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be buying flour, obviously, but like 1 little thing of flour is going to get me I don't know how many loaves. And how much does a freaking loaf cost every week? $5 or $6, and it's wrapped in plastic? Nah, we don't like that. Okay, oh, this mostly looks fine. This looks all right. Doesn't look as perfect and correct as it should or could be, but it's getting the idea across, I think. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. And then we add the flax egg, which in my experience, literally every time works exactly the same as an egg. The only difference that you might get is that you might have little like flecks in your thing. And yes, if you hear the buzzing, I think my upstairs neighbors are doing laundry. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then add this and mix it till just combined. Okay, so this is where they start to get me lost, because in my experience, I have done cookie dough for sugar cookies where as soon as you're done with the dough, then that's when you put it in the fridge and like let it sit for whatever amount of time. But this says create the cookie dough balls first and then fridge them. I'll try it their way, and then if it doesn't work, I'll do it my way next time. That's why I have a little notes section right down there for how I did it and what happened, so that I can know what's a better way to do it in the future. And then there's this fun little like lemon icing that they drizzle on the top. And I bet my bottom dollar that if you just did vegan butter with this, it would totally work. So that's the only non-vegan thing that I did in this recipe is the regular butter, because I can't have vegan butter anymore because it has vegetable oil in it, and it's really not good for my skin with my eczema. It inflames my skin. But I, in general, try to avoid dairy because it's also not super great for my skin, but the soy slash canola is a lot worse. So anyways, what was I saying? I'm very excited to start learning and trying out new recipes, putting them in this little journal, just like having stuff in here that I can refer back to when I eventually live on a homestead, and like ideally will be preserving and growing a lot of my own food, because honestly, like homesteading will be my main thing. Like that's gonna be my main thing that takes up most of my time, ideally. Like I'll still do YouTube, but I'll just like take you guys along for the homestead chores and the preserving and, you know, making stuff so that you could maybe learn how to do it too, like I am right now in my New York City apartment. Now feeling this, I kind of see why she just said like make them into balls first and then refrigerate them. I have so many plans this year, guys. I'm excited. I definitely want to start learning how to do the whole sourdough thing. Like I'm gonna start that in earnest when I get back from Italy, so that's gonna be really exciting to share with you guys about. And we can try and fail together. Whoever wants to learn along with me, and all the seasoned pros in the comments will help us out. And then what else? I'm trying to think, because I'm doing a Mend It March, as we know, if you watched my last video. Today's March 1st, so I really have to get all of that stuff organized. I have to like create my little mend pile so that I just have, if I have free time, I'll just start mending something, and then I'll do a whole video of me mending everything that I needed to mend, or at least starting. I would love to work on that as much as possible this month. And I don't think I'm going to start learning how to machine sew necessarily, but who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I will just take a gander at that. But I feel like it might be easier if I just kind of get this trip over with and then get started on some of the more heavy hitting stuff, so I can like set things up, because we're literally just about to rip the ceiling down. Like we've been in the process of it. We had to wait for our super to come in and take the light fixture down, because obviously we can't start ripping the ceiling down while there's still a light fixture in there, because it'll just come crashing down. That'd be not good. So that's all ready to go. And then finally we can get a new ceiling up in there and start putting our room back together, because our clothes are literally everywhere, which has also been part of the reason why I've been delaying the wardrobe video, because it's kind of overwhelming to think about getting all my clothes wrangled up in general, but now that they're literally scattered all over the apartment, it's like even more of an overwhelming thing. So I will have to just get a grip and come to terms with the fact that I need to just start for my little wardrobe series that's been like a year in the making. And I really have to start learning genuinely how to make a granny square, because I started learning in that one video a little while ago, and then I never continued because I ran out of time, and then I just didn't have the time to go back. Well, I did have the time, I just didn't have the executive function to go back and continue learning how to do a granny square, because I actually have received a little bit more yarn. So I now like 100% have enough yarn to do this granny square cardigan. So I really just have to learn how to do a freaking granny square at this point. Also, oh my gosh, huge update. Ray and I just bought a car. It's a used car, obviously, because I'm not rich. But we just got a car because Ray, as you very well may know if you watch my videos, is kind of gone multiple days of the week because he is a recording artist and his sound engineer is in Connecticut, which is not the state that we live in, but it's quite close via train/car. However, Metro North is not cheap, and wouldn't you know, it's literally cheaper to own a car than take the train every single week. And yes, I know it's not as sustainable. However, unfortunately, at this point in our lives right now, we kind of need to be more economical at the moment, and we try to be sustainable in like every other way possible, but this is just one of those things that like not having a car is low-key bankrupting us. Because if we want to visit anyone in our family along the East Coast, we have to rent a car because we have a dog, and we can't just like take the train there, which ideally would be amazing. We have a dog, so we have to take him. Renting a car is a lot of money, and there's so many fees, most of them hidden, and I hate those companies with my whole entire heart, if I'm being totally honest with you. They've actually genuinely made me cry at least twice with how much money they charged me. So that's not fun. And this way also, it'll be much easier, quicker, faster, and less traumatizing to Flip, because he low-key hates trains, to go up and like do little day trips in upstate New York or whatever. I actually, not to get your hopes up and have you all excited or anything, I have a plan to go to this really cool, I want to say used bookstore in Connecticut sometime this summer with two of my mods from my Discord team. And I'm so excited. One of them lives in Brooklyn and the other one lives in Rhode Island. And so we were all just kind of like, let's do a cute little East Coast book trip, whatever. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do when I'm there, if I'm gonna like buy a book or something, or if I can see if I can find any of my 5-star reads, or maybe I can sell back some books so I can get some store credit to buy one. I'll have to figure that out, but it'll be on my booktube channel once that happens later this year. And yeah, okay, so we finished. My hands are all buttery. I'm gonna go pop these in the fridge, and I'll see you in 15 minutes, I guess. Hi, I got my sugar. Ooh, there's a little chunk. Basically, you're supposed to get the dough balls that you created, roll them in sugar, and place them on the thing. So that's what I'm gonna do, I guess. Hi!
That's what you're gonna do.
That is what I'm gonna do.
Wait, you're making your famous ginger snaps?
No, I'm making a new cookie. I told you I was gonna make the Earl Grey cookies.
Oh, I'm very excited.
I think that they're gonna be really good.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
I know you don't really drink Earl Grey tea, but
it's not like I don't like it though. I've had to have it.
You've had to have it before. I love making cookies. It also said to use parchment paper, but I don't have any of that. I just use tin foil. So just use what you got. That's the most frugal thing you can do. Okay. And then it said to put them in for about 10, 11 minutes. And then they have to cool. So I'm gonna have to wait a bit. All right, let's go. We got a little bit before we can even taste them or try them yet, but I'm excited. We do have to do this powdered sugar situation. 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I probably should have waited to do this until the cookies were actually ready, but okay, I already tried a bite. Honestly, I definitely suggest doubling the amount of Earl Grey tea because you can really taste it. There's like, as Ray said just now, a nice perfume about them. They smell incredible. The apartment smells literally like the inside of a delicious sugar cookie right now. The lemon on the top is like a nice little touch. They don't have like a crazy strong flavor, and like when you first bite into it, you're kind of like, okay, let's see. But it kind of just unfolds as you go. It definitely tastes like a sugar cookie, but it has like a light amount of extra flavor. They're like good sugar cookies.
They're really good. Like crack.
You heard it here first. Ray said they're like crack, so I recommend. That's all for the video today, I guess. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out and chatting with me. Talking about our plans. We're gonna do a Mend It March. We're gonna do a like Let's Learn Shit 2025. And yeah, that's all. Thanks so much. See you later. Till the next time, I'm sending you all my love because we're all just trying our best out here.